Big changes in the crypto market, especially with exchanges. I'm gonna break down in today's video. This video is really important if you're in or ever are gonna be in crypto, because there's some things you need to know now. There's some changes that are happening now that are going to directly affect you. Now, I've said this before, the Bitcoin white paper, well, okay, this paper's off-white, but it's a white paper. It is exactly 9 pages, and it is a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. And it breaks down peer-to-peer and decentralization in this white paper. Now, I recommend most of you read this paper because it literally, I would say 90% of the crypto experts on YouTube aren't even smart enough to fully understand what crypto is. They're so focused on the pump and dump aspect, which is going to ruin crypto if we don't start taking action quickly as a community. Now, I'm gonna break down what's happening in the exchanges because there's some massive changes at exchanges, places like Gate.io, Crypto.com, Coinbase, all exchanges basically, the way that they're run, the way that they're monitored, and the way that they are going to be regulated. And we're gonna break that down because this is vital. And crypto is one of the few last bastions of privacy and freedom, things that aren't completely controlled by the government. What I'm gonna break down is going to affect you regardless of where you are, because the world government conglomerate that is coming together around the World War III, which, make no mistake, it's the conglomerate of the world governments coming together. And crypto is in their top 3 to 4 topics, and changes are happening. So today, in Operation World Governments Trying to Destroy Crypto, we're gonna break this down, and we're gonna break down what you can do right now. And I'm actually serious. I do recommend all of you actually read the Bitcoin white paper. Most people, it is so far over their head, it's not even funny. And most crypto experts don't even know the fundamentals of cryptos. They're just out here selling pump and dump and courses that add no value. And it's hurting the community more than it's helping. You know, in most communities, spreading the word is a good thing, but in crypto, the misinformation that's going around is ridiculous. Now, you might have seen that Elon Musk just finalized his deal for Twitter, which is great because he's trying to promote free speech, and Elon Musk is a pro-crypto entrepreneur. But, you know, he can only take it so far. His core focus is his businesses, and you notice how the government quickly changes their tune on big tech. All of a sudden, for the first time ever, they want to take real massive action as opposed to just jawboning for the last decade. Now, we're gonna set that topic aside for a second as we break down these exchanges and what's happening. If you have crypto right now in exchanges, you are officially being tracked. So, there's now a partnership with all of the governments, whether it's US, Canada, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, Berlin, France, Italy, China, Japan, basically all the governments. I mean, even places like China, who are they're going to outlaw crypto. Well, maybe not. We ban crypto. China's banned crypto like 24 times, okay? But even places like that, what they're starting to look at is a global transaction network. Now, it's what the IRS tried to do with Monero here, but failed. It's why they're still offering a bounty on Monero, to crack ring signatures, to crack the technology. And obviously, if you follow Monero, you know that they're doing a fork and an update. You can see here, they talked about this recently in Reddit and some other forums, and I recommend you understand what that means. In a lot of ways, that's a good thing, and they keep pivoting out of the purview, and Monero is what digital e-cash should have been. Bitcoin was never there. Now, whether you believe Bitcoin is CIA, whether you believe Satoshi passed away, whether you believe it's Craig Wright, this guy, whether you believe, and don't get me wrong, Craig Wright is smart enough to create Bitcoin, he's educated enough, but he doesn't have the temperament to be an anonymous person to give something to humanity. The guy he brags about his patents, and now he has more patents than Thomas Edison, and he wants credit for everything. In fact, he changed the white paper on his website and sued Bitcoin.org to take down the white paper. I think what happened is, realistically, Satoshi's probably passed away, and Craig is taking credit. Now, Craig was recently in a giant lawsuit where he has to pay $100 million because he got charged basically with a crime of, he owes $100 million But also, that case never said he was Satoshi. It just said that he wasn't not Satoshi. Regardless of what you believe, Bitcoin, in my opinion, is becoming a problem because of the way that it's structured. So Monero solved that problem 6 years after Bitcoin. But the lack of use case in crypto has become a problem, and crypto is seen more as a Charles Ponzi invention than an actual fundamental cash-like system. And when everyone says, well, what about the poor people in these countries that can't afford anything? Well, okay, cool. But countries like Europe, continents like Europe, all the countries in Europe, countries like the United States or Australia or Canada are like, yeah, but you're not in those. You have access to our banking system, so we want to make that a thing. Now, you've probably seen, have you used Gate.io? Have you noticed they've really cracked down on their KYC? Have you noticed that Coinbase has been making a lot of changes and a lot of changes to their terms of service? Have you read them? Have you read them? I'm asking. Have you noticed that Crypto.com has been making some massive corporate changes and partnering with corporate banks? Crypto is no longer positioning itself to be decentralized peer-to-peer like it should be. They're positioning themselves to be Bank 2.0. Don't be surprised if JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, US Bank, Bank of America, and a whole bunch of global banks start merging with these exchanges. In fact, there's been talks of a couple of different banks buying out control in both Coinbase and in Crypto.com because right now control would actually be feasible for them to do. That's literally banking 2.0 and then injecting it into the CBDCs. So understanding that the new tracking system is a go. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into the fundamental breakdown here because I've seen two other people do it and their videos have been taken down. One of them was a breakdown of how the CBDCs are working with the exchanges, and that video was taken down. Another one kind of went in detail of how the system works, and it was taken down within 3 days. I've had 8 videos taken down this year so far. So it's absolutely ridiculous. They don't want this information out on a broad base, but most of you are probably seeing it on Twitter or Reddit or any other forum. Realistically, there's a lot of information out there about this, but the fundamental process is not having crypto in your name because now these KYCs are tying back to you directly and they can track every transaction unless you use a coin like Monero. Also, they're tracking your entry points, your exit points, and also they're tracking your use cases for crypto. Also, they're tracking each individual trade so they can try to turn it into a taxable event. Also, going to a stable coin, of course, they want to make a taxable event. Also, holding stablecoin in any kind of interest, they want to make a unrealized capital gains, and they just reinitiated that, not for stocks and bonds, not for houses, not for businesses, for crypto only, and they're looking about implementing that in the climate change agreement because have you read the new climate change agreement? It talks about how they want to implement unrealized capital gains for crypto. Why? Because they say that crypto is the fundamental problem for climate change. Crypto, all of a sudden, all the things we've had for all these decades, and now crypto is the one of, let's be fair, it's like in the top 3 fundamental issues for climate change, all of a sudden. Right. So this is becoming a monster of a problem. Now, you need to get your crypto out of your name and you need to structure yourself as a ghost fast if you're going to use crypto. This is becoming a massive problem. I've gotten an onslaught of emails the last couple of weeks about this because people knew this was coming. The fact is, right now, I no longer recommend using crypto if it's in your name, period. If crypto's in your name, you can check out the first link down below. We can help you fix this fast. We've got a streamlined system. We can help you become a ghost and break this stuff down. The cool thing is the social credit score looks like it probably will not be implemented in the super short term before the midterms here in the United States. So that's the good news. There is good news. The good news is the social credit score is probably going to come after the midterms. The bad news is the tracking of crypto is already coming online left and right as we speak. So taking action now has never been more vital for all of you who use crypto, period. If you use crypto, you want to start taking action because these exchanges now are going to start tracking every little thing you do. And this is becoming a fundamental problem. They can also track if you have the apps anywhere, they can track those devices now. If you look at the permissions, again, I'm asking you, have you been reading the terms of service? Because my team, we do. We break all this stuff down. But most of you just click accept. Do you realize what you're accepting? Do you realize what's in this climate change bill? Do you realize the crypto regulations that have already been passed in the United States infrastructure bill that are being adopted in places like Canada and Australia and Europe? Do you realize that? They're literally piggybacking on the exact same regulations. Now, I've done videos breaking down exactly what's in those bills so you guys can check them out, but we've already broken all this down at Privacy X. We told you what was happening, and now it's happening. I told you guys 6 months ago. Now, if you haven't become a ghost yet, the good news is you have more time because the social credit score is delayed till after the midterm. But what's not delayed is they're starting to build a database. Now, because Web3 is not fully implemented, we can still help you get out of that database. But make no mistake, you're being put in that database every single day right now through metadata, period. Especially on crypto. Now, it's happening on everything, and that's why the Fed, the actual federal government, along with Europe, Canada, and Australia's major governments, especially in Canada, Canada's going all out on this, are literally buying all the data companies. In fact, there's projections that over 95% of all data firms will be government owned by 2025. That is preposterous. It should be zero. In fact, in 2010, it's in the teens. Now, I've seen conflicting reports, so I don't want to give an exact number, but I've seen reports between 13 and 17% in 2010. And now here we are a dozen years later, and it's creeping up to 95%. They're utilizing the metadata as their tool for the social credit score as we usher in Web3. Now, good news is you have a little bit more time because Web3 is nowhere near fully functional. Now, Privacy X, we're working on a tool right now that we're going to be launching that actually helps combat this. Our crypto project is not a currency. I think Monero, and I want to clear this up because I've gotten countless questions asking me, am I making a currency? No, I think Monero is a killer currency that should be used by everyone if you want a real cryptocurrency. That's if you want a real cryptocurrency, but that's on you. We're building utility to help all crypto be more private, secure, and be able to keep the peer-to-peer decentralization that you were supposed to have. So we're building an incredible tool that you guys will hear more about soon. But I wanted to clear that up. But yeah, this is happening right now. You need to understand, I talked about this 6 months ago in videos, but now these things are starting to come true. And after the midterms, the social credit score is going to usher in. And a lot of these other things that we've talked about at Privacy X are going to usher in. So I recommend start taking action fast while you still can. But guys, I mean, things are speeding up. Now, the cool thing is there's still a lot we can do. You still have a lot of time and there's some positive, like I talked about. So that is a good thing. We're still in the fight and we're still making progress. But we've got to keep taking action if we want this to be actionable in the future. You know, the future can be bright if we decide to make it bright. If we quit bringing people in that are anti all of our countries, that want to control everything, quit letting them control everything. Keep crypto peer-to-peer decentralized. As often as you can, work with people directly with crypto. And that's why at all of these situations, crypto is vital. It's absolutely vital. Also, I get countless questions. Do we accept crypto at Privacy X? Of course we do. If you want to use our service with crypto, just let us know and we'll send you the link for, we accept like 3 different cryptos. So cool. But yeah, absolutely. It's vital. Using crypto is vital. Not treating it as a Ponzi scheme or a pyramid where you're just going to try to wait out and become a trillionaire. But actually utilizing the infrastructure, because right now it's looking like a pyramid scheme and that's becoming a problem. Anyway, appreciate you guys checking out this video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Put out new videos all of the time. Really appreciate your guys' support. Take action, stay in the fight. We will be shoulder to shoulder with you. We have a lot of cool stuff coming this year. And while there's a lot of darkness, we're masters at finding the light and we are going to tug at that and we are going to shoot for every shiny spot we see. And we're going to take as many of you with us as willing to actually be part of the community. And speaking of community, I'm actually building out a community. We're going to have our own community. Because of everything happening on Privacy X, I've got one of my designers right now building a forum. So we're going to have our own forum. Free. It's not going to be a paid thing. It's going to be a free forum where we can all congregate, talk, and share ideas. And it's going to be private, meaning we don't have to deal with censorship. It's going to be on my servers, period. And we can talk about our ideas. I'm not going anywhere on social media. I think social media is important. I love to see what they're doing on Twitter, but I'm putting together a community because we have to stay in the fight. There has to be a place where we can all go congregate, talk about our ideas, share ideas. I know you guys learn a ton from me and my team, but I also learn a lot from you guys. I love your guys' comments and emails. I read every one. I respond to as many as I can, and they matter. They matter. And building a bigger and bigger community matters. And part of my new project that I'm getting ready to talk to you guys about in the crypto space, in the Web3 space, is gonna matter in this front. So appreciate you guys checking this out. Lots of really exciting things coming from us this year, and hopefully from you as well. Stay positive, go all in on everything you do. Understand that it's your life and you gotta take control. If you give them control, well, they're gonna control you, but don't give them the reins. Take the reins back and ride off into the sunset. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video.